everybody, and welcome back to the Duck Duck Bros podcast. And we are just hours after the Rams, the LA Rams, winning the Super Bowl. Robbie Ray, I think it kind of sums up how you're feeling right now, your background. You want to get started, man? You want to start this show? Any thoughts on the LA Rams, our hometown team brings home a Super Bowl. How does that make you feel? Silence?
Welcome back to the podcast. This is Robbie Ray.
Oh. Oh man, that's how you're feeling, huh? That's how you're feeling. My goodness. Oh God, man. So Rob is, I don't know, is feeling down for whatever reason. All right. Let's start off with this, all right?
Can I get something off my chest?
Go for it.
I texted you earlier,
Yeah, you did.
and I need to get it. I had a bad taste in my mouth all day.
Uh-huh.
I barely ate.
Okay.
You know, I want to say this to the Bengals. I want to say this to Who Dey Nation, and I want to say this. So, I mean, specifically, I'm gonna take my glasses off. Specifically to Evan. And I'm gonna look into the camera, and this is gonna be a heartfelt message.
Go for it, brother. The floor is yours.
I need this. Once I get this off, then I'll feel a lot better, and we could go on with the podcast. Earlier, we dropped a video.
Oh, yeah.
Of talking about Evan McPherson, and that he's gonna, the GOAT. Still believe that, and that he's gonna go ahead and say, "I guess we're winning the Super Bowl." And I said, if he doesn't, and I paused for a second because I was going to say, then he's going to miss the field goal. And instead, I just said, I'm going to be mad. So I'm sorry for even putting that in the universe. I'm sorry for even thinking that he would miss a kick.
He didn't.
He went
2 for 2.
He went 2 for 2.
And he made the one PAT he had got.
Yeah, and I truly believe if they got into field goal range, he would have made that one too.
Yeah, he went 2 for 2 on PATs and 2 for 2 from the field goal. So total of 8 points my boy racked up in the Super Bowl.
I just want to say I'm sorry.
There you have it. Robbie Ray apologizes to Evan McPherson and everything Bengals, whether you're part of the team or you're part of the Who Dey Nation.
The training staff,
medical staff that got his
medical,
legs,
Yeah. I mean, someone's got to loosen those bad boys up,
Yes. And he didn't go 14 for 14 in the playoffs without the medical team.
No, definitely not. So, so I got that off. I feel a lot better.
There you have it.
Still sad.
4 minutes in, and we already got, a heartfelt apology here on the Duck Duck Bros podcast. But back, let's get to the. All right, being from LA, all right, in the past, let's say, 2 to 3 years? The Lakers won, the Dodgers won, and now the Rams, right?
Yeah.
Is LA the city of champions right now? Or has it always been that way? What do you think?
Honestly, I mean, it's always been the city of champions, But, I mean, if you look back at it, the only winners for football was USC, when we had, when we tried to go back to back to back,
Don't forget that. The Rams are not the first team from LA to win a Super Bowl.
They are not,
The Raiders won them back in the
for sure.
'80s, right? So,
Well, I'm saying like recently.
oh, recently, yeah,
You know,
recently
recently.
the biggest yeah, LA's biggest football team was the Trojans. Yeah,
Yep.
and the college team, who would think, right? So yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I think
You
it's
know,
good for
so
the community.
oh, I think so.
Yeah,
I think it's good for, specifically the city of Inglewood, where, SoFi is at, and having all that just people from all over coming to football games, and
yeah,
hopefully being able to put some money into the community. But I think it's good for just LA in general.
yeah, definitely.
Um, it's awesome for you know us to be able to win what 3 out of the 4 major sports.
The Kings are they might be they I don't know they're young they might make it
I mean,
four for
I think feel
four.
like they're rebuilding, but
They're a playoff team, who knows? We'll see. Maybe the Stanley
who
Cup's
knows?
coming out. Maybe it's just hot right now. Maybe the
I
Stanley
feel
Cup
like
will
we are.
just.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
we are.
Maybe.
I think after this, Lakers might go ahead and make a run.
Hey,
Who knows?
LeBron was there. I heard Russell Westbrook was there. You know, maybe this just sparks that. We'll see.
I
We'll
feel like
see.
maybe he should be working on shooting, but that's fine. If he wants to go to the Super Bowl, that's
Hey, he's from
hey,
LA, man.
I'm not his coach. I'm not his coach. I can't say anything about it.
2 points. LeBron
Okay.
should maybe LeBron should be working on his free throws. After missing that key free throws last night. But hey,
You know what?
get your
It's
me
fine.
time. Get your me time. It's fine.
Yeah,
He
we're
brought a
here. We're
championship.
here.
He brought a championship to LA. He's fine.
Yeah,
He's fine.
we're here to talk. We're here to talk football.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing coming out of this, right, is we're from LA. We're Dodger fans. We're Laker fans. Um, the thing we expect as people from LA, big city, big lights. Everyone's eyes are on you. Actors are everything. Everybody's there, right?
Everybody was there.
Everybody's
Matt
watching.
Damon was there.
Yeah, Matt Damon.
Yeah, Ben Affleck.
So shout out to Show Wilfred. Matt Damon was there.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah.
Shaq was there. Kanye West. I mean, everybody. It's L.A. The stars were out tonight.
Hollywood. Hollywood.
It was just
You
the
know.
stars were out everywhere on the field and in the stands. And I feel like as people from LA, we expect our Dodgers, our Lakers every year to win not only one win championship, but be in the talks of championship every year, in and out. It's the big city, the big names. It's L.A., New York. It's something you expect to happen, right? And I think even as a Raider fans, right, being from L.A., it's good to see teams win because that's what they come here for. They come to LA, attract stars, attract winners, and win. I mean, what 3, 4 years ago they didn't get the job done. Fast forward a couple years, you get Matt Stafford, you bring in Odell, you bring in Von Miller,
Yep.
and then you piece them around the guys you already had, which were big names like Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. I mean, even they brought in Jalen Ramsey if you really think about it, because
Hmm.
he wasn't a guy they drafted, right? They brought him in on a trade, or yeah, right. It was a trade a few years back. So they got the big
True.
names, attracted the stars, and they got it done today. I mean, it was a little sketchy in the beginning. Uh, for
Oh, for sure.
for a second, I was getting scared. I seen run after run after run, and I'm just like, oh no, Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray said this was gonna happen. Cam Akers is gonna have 20 plus carries, 100 plus yards, and this is gonna be a boring Super Bowl. But the Bengals stopped the run. Sean McVay kind of shifted his plan, and he got the job done. So, I mean, I think the biggest takeaway from this is Sean McVay got it done. Would you say Sean McVay got it done, or would you say he the stars on his team kind of bailed him out in a way? Because it seemed like after Odell got out the game, it got a little shaky there.
For sure. I mean, I would say that at one point, we were texting throughout the game, and we were having conversations, everything. And I think once Odell came left, and he unfortunately got injured.
Yeah.
Um, you said it yourself. It looked like he didn't really know what to do.
Yeah.
I feel like Odell was having a great first
Oh,
half.
dude, I
You
for a
know,
second I thought he was gonna carry that thing. He was gonna carry that thing all the way through and win Super Bowl MVP.
I mean, right here, what, two catches for 52 yards and one touchdown, and that was in the first half. Cooper Cup
Yeah, and
ended up
dude,
winning MVP, eight eight receptions, 92 yards, and two touchdowns. So,
yeah,
I mean, if Odell doesn't get hurt, I mean, who knows? Maybe that's a whole different stat line.
yeah,
But
definitely.
I think you could tell that, especially since the run game wasn't really going. You know, Odell was for sure missed. I didn't know that Higby was out either
Yeah, yeah,
until today.
I didn't know. I thought he was playing.
I thought so too until they said that he was inactive.
Yeah,
Which, I mean, I feel like with those two guys out, you know,
yeah,
that's huge.
yeah,
And for
definitely.
them to be able to, even with those guys missing, scramble, rely on the defense a lot. I think we knew that was going to happen coming in. But I mean, I think going back, the last drive was major.
Oh, definitely
You know, I think
huge.
I think they just kind of put it on Matthews' shoulders and was like, "Hey, go out, you and Cup, do what you guys were doing all season," and that's basically what they were able to do when they needed it most.
I,
So,
and I also think the defense was just huge because going into halftime, it's 13-10. Bengals are getting the ball. And the first play, Joe Burrow throws a ball downfield. Probably should have been an offensive pass interference or a face mask. Gets away with it. T. Higgins runs to the house for 75 yards. Bengals take the lead. It's 17-13. You're like, all right, yeah, it's still a 4-point game. But then the very next play, Stafford throws one off the hands of, I don't know who it was, right
I think it
into
was their backup tight end.
yeah, right into the hands of a Bengals defender. And then the Bengals are in business. Kick a field goal. They're up a touchdown. They went into halftime down 3. Now they're up halftime. They're up a touchdown in the first minute and a half of the game, of the second half. I mean,
Mhm.
and yeah, I'm thinking, oh shoot, if the Rams don't do anything quick, like the Bengals probably gonna run away with this thing. They're hot. They're feeling it. But that defense showed up because the Rams didn't score after that the rest of the game. You know,
Yep.
yeah. So big ups to the defense. Aaron Donald. I mean, what I think it was, I think it was tied or maybe broke the record for most sacks in the Super
Tied.
Bowl. Right,
I
seven
think, yeah,
sacks. It
they
was tied, right?
7 sacks tied.
Yeah,
I mean, I honestly would just give them 8, but Joe Burrow threw the ball away at the
yeah,
last second.
yeah,
So I mean, it would have been 8,
yeah.
but he just tried to give someone a chance to catch it.
Props
So
to Burrow to even getting that off, dude, because Aaron
yeah, for
Donald
sure.
had him. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he wrapped them up. So I mean, I think if we're being honest, um, I would go back to the Steelers. When they the 9 sacks that they had, right?
mm-hmm.
That they played the Steelers, right? On
Yeah,
that. So, and coming into it, like we knew, obviously the offensive line was, suspect at best. Um, and we knew that the defensive line for the Rams, I mean, they're just monsters. You got Von Miller on one side, you got Aaron Donald playing basically every position on the D line. They move him around constantly. So, they're gonna get one-on-one matchups, and uh, I go back to that fight they had on the sideline, and they poked the beast, man.
oh,
Like they
that was
is pushing him, hit him in the face.
that
They
was the
poked the
wrong
beast.
guy to mess with.
Hmm. And then after that, you could definitely it was like a switch, man. He
Yeah,
flipped, and the defense started,
as if he
getting the
didn't
job done.
already have that switch on,
Yeah.
right? And he just
Oh no, it was from
it just
here
took
to
him to
the
the
next
next. He went
next
from
level.
Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3 like that.
Oh yeah,
It
for sure.
definitely. I mean, because dude, he had a great game. 4 tackles, two sacks. It's
Almost 3.
yeah. He almost had the
Game
third one
winner,
right.
game
Yeah,
winning.
he almost sealed it
You
right
know.
there at the end with the sack. but just the pressure that they were putting on him, and man, Burrow was getting the ball out quick. He made it a game. I mean, like we said in the podcast in the previous episode, it was the Rams Super Bowl to lose, and it felt like that the whole way. It felt like the Bengals were playing with nothing to lose. Like they know they're young. Like I was telling the people I was watching the game with, I said, if you would have told me in the beginning of the season that the Bengals would be in the Super Bowl, I would probably laughed in your face and said they probably won't even make the playoffs. You know, and here we are talking about how the one or two plays go their way, and they might be Super Bowl champs. You know, I thought that last drive after Jamar ran down the sideline and got a big play, I'm like, they'll probably at least tie it. You know, they'll probably at least tie it. This game might go to overtime, and I was kind of hoping to. You know, I had some side bets going. You know, but I was like, you know, I don't know. I was kind of rooting for, you know, you just want to see a great game, but even with that, it was a great game overall. And I mean, these guys showed out. I mean, Burrow, 22 for 33 for 263 and a tubby, no picks. I mean, the QBR didn't look as great, but I think that
definitely not.
Kind of affected by the sacks that he took. Really,
I would say so.
Yeah. So.
I mean, overall, I mean, looking back, you know, at the game, like, what's your outlook on it? What's your take on it? As far as like, you know, as far as just the flow of the game, the play calls on both sides, and then just Super Bowl like ranking.
Great
what do you say?
Flow overall, I would say. There was not many penalties until that last Rams drive.
Which we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So the game was just going. They were letting them play. Even that little scuff on the side, usually you see that in the regular season game, especially a Raider game, flags are flying. And I loved that they let the guys get into it a little bit. And just to say, one of those two flags was that pick, the celebration of the pick. Some guy ran onto the field, like right. So like
the inactive guy.
Yeah. So really, it was only one penalty that they called, like from actual like play, and I think it was
who
was that penalty on?
Apple.
Was it Apple?
It was Apple on. It was the hold, or the pass interference or whatever.
Early, right?
Yeah, and then it was the controversial call, which we'll get to.
Yeah. So like overall, the flow of the game was good. I feel like you've seen a lot from the Bengals, and the Bengals are so young. I was saying, man, the Rams needed, like we said, the Rams needed the Super Bowl more than the Bengals did, because the Bengals are young. I feel like this team is right where they're supposed to be. They got a quarterback. They got Joe Mixon on behind running. They got 3 great receivers. They got a good tight end. They had a solid defense. The one thing that they're missing that probably cost them the game is the O-line. And it's funny because going in, just rewinding back to before the draft, and everyone was saying, oh, the Bengals are going to get Penei Sewell from Oregon. Penei Sewell. They go Jamar Chase, which was not a bad route. They made it to the Super Bowl, so nobody's questioning that. But now, do you go back and think, maybe what if we got a lineman instead? A top-ranked lineman. Does that change the times? Because Burrow was the most sacked quarterback this year, and still made it to the Super Bowl. So you're just like, I would question it a little bit. But definitely going into the offseason, if I'm the Bengals, I'm thinking we got to protect this guy, because he's he's another hit away from tearing another ACL or whatever.
I thought you almost tore it again.
Yeah, I thought so again. But you said the flow of the game was great. The overall game, both sides play calling was, I would say the Bengals was a pretty solid play call, because going in, everyone was saying how the Rams' run defense was gonna just dominate, and Joe Burrow's not gonna have no time to throw the ball, and he wasn't gonna get anything off. Mixon ran for 72 yards. And that was huge because as soon as he was running the ball and running good, that opened it up for everyone else.
Yeah.
You know, T. Higgins was getting open. Tyler Boyd had 5 catches. Jamar Chase got over 80 yards. That was great. Rams in the beginning, I would say, first half up to Odell getting hurt. The play call at first, trying to force the run. To me, it was kind of like, dude, like you're in the Super Bowl, play your strengths. Your best player is Cooper Kupp. Your second best player is Odell Beckham. Those are your 2 weapons on offense. And then it's Cam Akers probably, if that. Yeah, you can maybe say Van Jefferson. Somebody would argue that, right? Or Higbee, but he wasn't there. So I would say up to that, it was kind of like, and then they started throwing the ball, and you're like, oh, shoot. For a little bit, I'm thinking, the Rams are going to run away with this thing. They're flinging the ball. Stafford's looking good. He's hitting He's hitting Kupp. He's hitting Odell. This game, if he's throwing the ball like that, this game's going to be over quick. As soon as Odell comes out, you can kind of see the play call kind of shift a little bit. Cooper Kupp not as much as involved. Obviously, the defense is shifting towards him, right? But if that's my guy, I'm going to find a way to get my guy open. If that's the only source of offense we're going to get, you've seen it all year long. They had, even before they had Odell, even with Robert Woods there, they designed plays just for Cooper Kupp to get the ball. The reason some of the catches he was getting 10 plus catches a game almost, it felt like. And most of it was just designed plays just for him to get the ball and make plays on his feet. I didn't really see that today. And then I think most of his yards came in that last drive, really, where he kind of opened it up a little bit and ended up with him scoring a touchdown. So I feel like the Rams, honestly, I feel like McVay got away with it, really, because I feel like the defense really just got him, sealed it for him. And then overall Super Bowl ranking, I would say, I would put it in like the B tier of Super Bowls. It was a great game. Not so much drama, I would say, as I'd want in a Super Bowl. Not so much back and forth that I was expecting. So, yeah, I'd put it like in the B tier of Super Bowls. Great Super Bowl to watch though. Probably one of the better ones in recent years.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think storyline, all that stuff, with Joe Burrow, and then also obviously Matthew Stafford, you got Odell, the rings, you got Von Miller as well. You got some, Jalen Ramsey, you got the big names, and then Eric Weddle too coming back, and the lineman from the Rams was named Whitworth.
Yeah, Andre Whitworth, the Peyton, the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Yep, exactly. So he's probably going to retire. So you got a lot of veterans that have been waiting on getting a ring. So you can't be mad at the Rams winning. I think a lot of guys on that team deserve to go out winning the ring. I think Von Miller might be, retiring pretty soon, if not by this year.
I think he's going to. I think I read a report that he was saying if they win, he's out, like he's retiring.
The crazy thing was, they said Aaron Donald was thinking of retiring as well.
I was thinking that.
And it made it seem like if they won this Super Bowl, then he was going to retire. Yeah. But they asked him about it, but he said he's just going to enjoy it right now. But that's a possibility as well. So if you look at, there's 3-4 guys, key guys in this team, that may be calling it quits after this. So I think this was their time to win it. Yep. I think that's why they really pushed for Von Miller. They pushed for Matthew Stafford this year, to make sure that they were able to get it done, and they did. As far as the flow of the game, it was pretty solid. I think the first half was really, really good.
Yeah.
And then I think the second half was lacking for me.
Yeah.
The second half was, other than the first, like you said, the first minute and a half, Bengals came out, the deep ball to Higgins, and then the interception, field goal. I was like, oh, second half is gonna be sick. They heard Eminem, this is your one shot, one opportunity. They're all hype right now, and then nothing, and it just seemed like the Bengals play calling really, really lacked. I feel like they
I feel like
you
they were
know
playing not to lose.
right,
Rather
or
than,
I feel like they were playing on just like, all right, well, we got the lead,
yeah,
let's
like,
now it's time to run, right? It's
yeah.
time to run the ball, and which, don't get me wrong, when they were running the ball, that's what opened it up for them. I think that's what got them that one on one with Ramsey and Chase, in the first half, and then obviously coming out with the big bomb, and then Joe Mixon with the pass, right? Everyone was running up to try to get him, and then he ends up throwing the touchdown, right?
Yep.
But for whatever reason, it didn't seem like they were trying to throw the ball. It wasn't really like they were trying to push it down the field, which I feel like you know, they had some really good chances to do that. And the times that they did push it down the field, they burned Ramsey, twice.
Twice.
Another, that's another play that was kind of face mask, could have called a flag, but ended up not doing it, But I feel like they had a lot more chances to kind of, just kind of, blow out the Rams a little bit, where like I
They could
think
have ran
you
away with
come
that
in.
too.
Yeah, I think they could have, but for whatever reason, I think the 10 points early. After that, they're like, all right, our defense is playing well. You know, let's just try to play the time, And I feel like that's what really hurt them
Yeah.
for me. And yet again, the Rams, the same thing. There are times where I'm like, dude, why are you running the ball? Like, you're not getting it done,
Mm-mm.
you know? Um, and for me, it wasn't working. I understand
It didn't
that
work.
play action, yeah, play action and, running the ball is part of their whole scheme and everything like that. But at some point, I think you just got to understand, like, hey, this is not going to happen. They want the ball in Matthew Stafford's hands, and we got to give it to them, and that's what they did at the end of the final drive, and it worked out for them.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
but for me, I think that was the biggest thing. I think, for me, play calling was good at spurts. I think, I mean, for the most part, I feel like that's what you see for NFL games. I think, yeah, I think they know their times to pick and choose, like when to go for and when not to. Obviously they got all the analytics. They know how to play call and get the games going and everything like that. They know the flow of the game better than we do.
Oh, of
So
course,
I
definitely.
don't, yeah, I don't like to too often to like, oh, why are they calling these plays and that plays, right?
Yeah.
Obviously they see something, but there maybe I think 2-3 times in the game where I was like, ooh, I wouldn't have gone there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest one was the 3rd and 1.
Yeah. Was that
When the
the
Bengals are
receiver?
trying to, yeah, no, it was P Ryan.
Oh, P Ryan. Yeah, no, yeah.
P Ryan and the 3rd and 1, and then you don't get it, and now you have to try to throw it with the pass rush. Like,
Yeah.
I would really like to see Joe Burrow get a couple shots at it to get the first down,
Yeah,
than trying to
definitely.
run it.
Yeah.
But I think other than that, I mean, it was a solid Super Bowl. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be, you know, uh, it's not going to be, top. It's not like Santonio Holmes catch.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing historical.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy. Which, I did see that Cooper Cup. What was it? Offensive Player of the Year, Super Bowl, and then Super Bowl MVP.
I called it.
Only receiver to do it, Jerry Rice, in his career. Cooper Cup did it in 1 year. So that
And
was pretty awesome to see.
if I'm not mistaken, I think Jerry Rice got his against the Bengals too.
Really?
If I'm not mistaken, yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you could see somebody could fact check me on that, but for some reason, I think Jerry Rice he won his when they won his Super Bowl MVP. It was against the Bengals.
That's awesome.
Super Bowl MVP. Let's see. Yeah, against the Bengals, 20-16.
Well, Yeah.
That's wild.
Bengals are bad luck, man. Um, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I think it was altogether, great Super Bowl. I think halftime show was amazing.
Oh, that
You
halftime
know,
show was probably the best. I mean, the game was great, but the halftime show was. I mean, I wanted to put on the pads and go out there myself after
oh yeah,
watching that thing. It was great. It was great to watch. I think, especially as hip hop fans, it was a great
hmm
sight to see. You got a little mix of L.A., a little mix of New York.
hmm
And, you got to see. Um, I liked how you seen a lot of guys that Dr. Dre kind of like brought up. Snoop
oh
Dogg,
for sure.
Kendrick Lamar,
Eminem.
Eminem, even Anderson
hmm
Paak was out there on the drums. I think that was
Oh
pretty
yeah,
cool.
that was
So
pretty
I was
sick.
like,
My boy, you see him?
oh,
He was smiling. He
he
was hyped to
was,
be there,
oh
man. It's good
man,
to
he was
see.
like, I don't have to sing a word. I'm just gonna bang on these drums. And it's gonna be a great time. It's a Super Bowl, man. Super Bowl halftime show, man. And it was a halftime show was great. Um, the under, you said bet on the under,
Under
46.
hit.
The
I said
Simpsons,
21-24, but
close enough. I mean, if
close
you
enough.
think about it, that
Extra point there.
extra point, kind of shifted a little bit. Um, what am I saying here? Simpsons were wrong. The Bengals did not beat the Rams 34-31.
That's very true. So
Yeah,
now, what else are they wrong about?
yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
So
What else do we have here? Gatorade color, blue.
blue.
Blue. That's a good prop.
Coin toss was
Heads.
heads.
I said it was going to be heads, and
There it
it was
is.
heads. But yes, overall, I think it was a good Super Bowl. Not like we said, not the best. I feel like the halftime show might rank. I don't know. Maybe it's a personal bias, but I feel like it ranks up there. At least in recent years, it's one
Oh,
of the
for sure.
better halftime shows.
Oh,
Um,
definitely. I think people are saying it's the best in history.
yeah, I would agree with
I would
that.
have to go back. I know people are pretty high on Michael Jackson's.
Yeah, I don't.
But that was the last time the Super Bowl was in LA too.
Yeah, I mean it's L.A.
So
You got to go big.
yeah, I
But
just think it's
I feel like this met all eras of hip hop fans.
oh
You had
for
the
sure.
'90s gangster rap
hmm
to the 2000s.
With
Kind of
Eminem.
Eminem and 50 Cent, and then you had
hmm
the more
The new era.
newer era with Kendrick
Yeah.
Lamar, and you even got a little mix of R&B with Mary J. Blige, and I felt like it
Right.
just. I said, I
It
mean,
was something for everybody.
yeah, exactly. And I feel like they should do that every year, where you kind of, you got your
Incorporate it.
incorporate, people, and like you want to attract younger people into this, watching this game, and you also want to keep the older crowd a little bit, happy. I mean, they're, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure there's a lot of, especially LA people, man, stoked to see Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg up there, getting down,
Again. Oh yeah,
So,
definitely.
um,
Um, do you want to talk about the controversy?
that's what we're here for. That is what.
I feel like it's going to be called out.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay. So
I think it was weird for me.
yeah. So what we're talking about, right, is that late defensive holding, right, in the end of the drive,
The final drive to
final
win it.
drive to win it for the Rams. As- In fast, when I saw it in fast, and I seen him kind of jump over him, and I seen the flag, I was like, oh, they're gonna call pass interference. He jumped
Mhm.
in, he got over his back or something.
Right.
I'm like, all right, it's pass interference. Then you see the replay, and you kind of see a little like, I don't know. After seeing the replay, I was like, I mean, I guess you could call it, but it's kind of ticky tacky, and like the whole flow of the game, he didn't call anything, he didn't call big
That was
stuff.
the first flag.
Yeah, like if it was just
That
like
was the first flag of the whole game.
yeah,
No offensive holding right on
no,
the offensive line.
yeah,
No other pass interference.
mm-mm,
Nothing else other than the guy going out there to celebrate with the team.
yeah,
And that's the first one major. Like that was going to take it to fourth down.
yeah. And now
One more opportunity to win the game.
now you're putting it in the Rams' hands. Like, all right, do we go for it or do we take a field goal and use our and save
Right.
our 3 timeouts to try to like get a
Exactly.
stop? Now that dictates the whole game. Now you got first and down. You're half distance to the goal, and now you're feeling
Mm-hmm.
good. You can run a little bit of clock and just
Yep.
punch it in. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I feel like that might be the talk of
I mean,
all.
what do you think?
Am I?
Holding call? Not holding call?
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the holding call. If I'm
Not
being
me neither.
completely honest, I'm not a fan of it because you didn't call anything the whole game.
Right.
Like if it was
That's where it was weird.
if it was a blatant like holding call where it's just like, oh shoot, like this, like dude, like get off of him, like then I'm like, all right, yeah, throw the flag, like
Like Cooper Cups.
yeah,
Cooper
exactly,
Cups.
yeah.
That one was
yeah, that's a holding, but like
right.
that one was just kind of just like I felt like you just threw it just to say, yeah, like
I honestly, I think it's a makeup call
oh maybe yeah, I think it's a makeup call for that missed
for the face mask,
yeah,
and they that gave them a touchdown, and then they're like, hey, we kind of owe you. Here's a
but
flag.
I feel like you don't throw it in that situation.
You
That
can't.
big,
For me, you can't.
and not that close, man. Like
Mm-mm.
not to decide the game, at least.
And that basically did for me. Was
Yeah,
holding call. You get get another first down. You get closer,
yeah,
right? You get 4 more opportunities,
yeah,
right? And then you get obviously pass interference, which valid.
yeah.
But does that come down to it?
Yeah.
If they when that comes, when it
Yeah,
comes
it
back,
makes you
like
think. Yeah, I don't know, and it's kind of like, like I mean, I get it. You're trying to make up a call, but at least make it a little bit, make it look like a penalty. I felt like after watching that replay, it was just like, I don't know. If I'm a Bengals fan, I'm probably throwing. I'm probably raging, man. I'm probably throwing stuff. I'm
oh for
yelling,
sure. Oh yeah, I'm
just
pissed. I was pissed.
I'm
I was like, dude,
just as a fan of football,
you
I was
know.
just like, I
Hmm.
was watching with my mom and my cousins. They're not really big football people. They just, they like to watch sports, and they're like, "Oh, do you think that was a penalty?" And I'm like, like at this point in the game, I'm not calling that.
No.
I mean, unless you're calling it the whole game,
Right.
then yeah, all right, I understand.
Which they were letting them play the whole game.
You're letting them play.
There's a lot.
Like,
There's a lot of hand fighting. A lot of
yeah,
like everything. Even like you said, the sideline little like
yeah.
pushing and everything like that. They let that kind of go. And it looked like they weren't really trying to get involved, which I enjoyed.
Yeah,
I think
let
a
'em
lot of
play,
times,
man.
yeah, a lot of times big games, you see them flag, trying to, and right there, they were kind of just like, all right, you guys do your thing. Unless we see something super crazy, we're not going to jump in. And then
try to stop
that
the play. You don't
happened,
have to throw flags.
right?
And I feel
And
like that's how
that
it should be all
happened,
the time. Let everyone
and
celebrate. Let everyone have fun, man.
yeah, and that was kind of like, ooh, this is completely different from how you guys were calling the game the entire
It
time.
just felt a little fishy.
Yeah, a little suspect,
Just a little suspect.
But
And
uh,
you wonder why people think sports are rigged.
for sure.
Calls like
But
that.
you can't blame it. I mean, you can't blame that specifically,
Oh, no.
right? They still have their chance to stop them. They still have their chance to go down the field and win the ball game.
Yeah.
But I for sure think that
Definitely.
that changes the whole
At least
the whole
plan, at least for the
right.
Rams and the Bengals.
I mean, I think they go for it either way. I don't think you kick field goal in that
No, you
situation.
go for it. You try to get the win, and you have them backed up with 3 timeouts.
Right. There you go.
One stop,
And then you get another chance to try to get it done right after the stop, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, if I think that's about it, man. A good Super Bowl all around, halftime show. close game, within 3. That's what you would want.
Yeah, definitely.
No real complaints here.
Yeah, I think the only complaint I have is that my boy Evan McPherson didn't get a chance to at least
I know,
tie the game.
dude. I once.
Dude, once
I
you,
just wanted them. I just wanted them to get over the 50-yard line.
You get over the. I see you get
At
you
least,
you get past the 40. My boy McPherson's about to tie this game up. We're getting
right.
overtime. And then
Like if you get 45-yard line, I'll take it.
Yeah.
What is that, 62-yarder right there?
Give my boy
To
a
tie it?
chance.
Ooh,
I
just give
guess
him
we're
a
going
chance.
to overtime.
Right?
Oh,
I wanted that so bad,
yeah.
but
I mean, we
you were unable to get it.
We don't get the Evan McPherson Super Bowl T-shirts that we wanted to make.
I know,
but who knows? I mean, you think
there's other possibilities. There's so many more T-shirts to make.
Yeah. All right. So I have this. All right. This question. Before the game, I was talking with my uncle. Right. And he's not a big fan of the Bengals or Joe Burrow.
Okay.
I feel like it's like more kind of like the old school, new school kind of thing.
Right. I feel like people just love Joe Burrow because and that's just like the social media stuff, right? The TikToks that people make about him, the the memes and the dress, like how he dresses. Which, by the way, that suit. Ooh, boy!
I need to know where you get that one for the low, though. For the very low, I'll take the cheap version of that. I'll take the $50 version of that suit. Let me tell you.
I just want the pants.
my guy was looking like Will Ferrell and kicking and screaming, dude.
I know. I love it.
It was dripped out. I'm like, oh,
with the hat. He had to go with Cam Newton's guy.
Yeah. So, but where I'm getting to, right? So, my uncle compares Joe Burrow to Dan Marino. Where I guess Dan Marino in his second season goes to the Super Bowl, doesn't win, and he thinks, oh, Joe Burrow probably never make it there again. I want to ask you, do you think this Joe Burrow and the Bengals, I feel like he's gonna have a long career. I feel like he's the guy. He's the Bengals franchise quarterback if he stays healthy, of course, for years to come. You think the Bengals find their way back to Super Bowl during the Joe Burrow era?
This is tough. I see. So me, I just want to say yes because I like the guy.
Yeah, of course.
And I think he's a winner.
Oh yeah.
And I think they have more than enough, talent on the offensive side and defensive side as well. I think they got some guys that'll be probably making some Pro Bowls in the next 2 to 3 years and be household names pretty soon.
Yep.
Especially after this year. I'm like 90% sure that they're gonna fix the offensive line and get some help with that. But
it's very hard.
I mean, he has to get Josh Allen,
Patrick
Mahomes,
Lamar Jackson still in the league.
Right, I know.
The NFC is tough.
Yeah, it is.
Just 3 teams, right? I mean, he's got Lamar in his.
It's like the West and the East. Like, honest, like if I'm being honest, as far as like young, talented quarterbacks, my God, and then Herbert too. Can't forget him.
Yeah, the Chargers might be making some noise soon.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if they made the playoffs this year,
who knows?
Man,
be talking about maybe
right
the Chargers Rams LA Super Bowl that everyone was expecting.
Right. I mean, I could see that. Yeah. They had their defense solid. Offensively, I mean, they're just as good as anybody, and they can put up numbers as quick as anybody can. So I mean, I want to say yes, but it's so hard to make the Super
It's
Bowl.
so hard, man. It's
With
tough.
I mean, look at OBJ. I mean, let alone like injuries. Higby. I'm not sure. I'm assuming he got injured too,
Yeah.
right? So you have to be healthy. You have to get hot at the right time. Look at the Cardinals. Everybody thought they were going to be making the Super Bowl.
First half of the season, everyone had the Cardinals winning the
Exactly.
Super Bowl.
You know, then guys start getting hurt. You know, the COVID stuff, right? Then they didn't have everybody, right? And then they finally got everybody, but it was too late for them to remesh and get hot at the
Yeah,
right time.
definitely.
You know, so everything has to kind of align. You
Yeah,
know,
everything
I
has
mean,
to.
look at their season. No
Every
one thought the Bengals were going to make it,
yeah,
but everything
it's
kind of aligned with for them. You
yeah,
know,
kind of same thing goes in every sport. I mean, especially, but I think especially in football and in
yeah.
baseball, it
Hmm.
just it seems like everything just got to click. Everybody's got to be healthy. Everybody's got to be
Hmm.
rolling. And it's just,
Right.
I mean, you would like to say, like you say, you like to say yes, but I mean, the AFC is a tough place to go through. You
And
know?
it's tough because there's so many young quarterbacks
Oh
that are
yeah,
going to be there for years. They're
yeah.
not going anywhere anytime
Mm-mm,
soon.
mm-mm.
You
I
know,
mean, people probably argue the Dolphins. They almost made the
I mean,
playoffs, and
look
they
at
were
Tua. I
Tua.
mean, the
That's Mac Jones and the
second half, my boy
Patriots.
was looking good.
Don't count out Mac Jones and the Patriots. The Bill
Oh, you
Belichick's
can.
still there.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, like you said, there's guys everywhere. I don't know if Baker Mayfield's gonna figure it out, but when the Browns,
Probably
I
not,
mean,
but
they
they
made the
could get
playoffs.
another new quarterback.
They made the playoffs last year, and then this year, just have. I mean, the injuries kind of just derailed their season, really.
Right.
Same with the Ravens. Lamar didn't really
Hmm.
play the second half of the season. They didn't make the
Hmm.
playoffs. Like,
Right.
there's so much talent in the NFL right now, not only in the AFC and just entirety, but just in the
Hmm.
AFC alone. Like, we named off those guys. Like, Mahomes has
They're
already
going to
been
be
in
in the years forever.
Mahomes has been to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. AFC
Uh-huh.
Championship, what, 4 or 5 years
Hmm.
in a row now. Like, Josh Allen, I mean, they were 13 seconds away from going to the
Exactly.
to the to the AFC Championship. Who knows if maybe different outcome if you're going to cold Buffalo to play the Bills.
For sure.
Um,
And my whole thing is like he's gonna have to go through one of those teams.
yeah, you're gonna have to go through at least one of
Not and
those.
not and he didn't have to go. He didn't have to see the Ravens either.
Then I
You
see the
know,
Ravens.
which honestly I would have rather seen the Ravens than the Steelers. To be honest,
Yeah, yeah,
like
definitely.
But if imagine having to go through the Ravens and then having to go through the Chiefs.
Yeah, and
You know,
I mean, big tip the cap to the Bengals, man. They got it done, but it's tough. It's gonna be tough. I like to say yes. I like Burrow. I'm a Joe Shiesty fan.
oh for sure.
Joe Shiesty and the boys. I like Jamar Chase. I mean, I would love. They're a likable team. I think,
Oh, definitely.
especially young. I think who the younger generation is into the more confident, cocky kind of like
Oh, I mean,
that
it's not bad to say that they're
no
a little flashy,
yeah, a
and I
little
like it.
flashy. You
You know,
just like those. I don't know. There's something about those guys that appeals to me. I
hmm
see those guys. And just I don't know. It's like
just dripping,
this
this swagger, just dripping off of
exact
them,
the
and I love
swagger.
it.
I love the swagger, man. And I mean, you've seen it in the game today. Even
Hmm.
getting sacked 7 times, it just ice cold in his face. Like it didn't
Hmm.
phase him that he was playing in the
Bro,
biggest game of his life.
even like walking off the field, they had the camera on his back, and you could just tell by his walk, it wasn't he didn't have his head down, nothing. It was more like, "I'll be back."
Oh yeah,
Like, don't worry about it.
yeah.
Like, I'll be back,
I'll be
and you gotta love it.
yeah, yeah. And he just and a test to him. It started when he was in college last year in
Hmm.
LSU. Man,
Yep,
that winning the Heisman, winning the national championship, just that's
cigars,
yes, cigars. That
everything.
swagger. I love it. I love it. I mean, we do love the humble guys too. Shout out to you humble guys, quiet humble guys. But there's something about that swagger that I just I want that guy on my team.
Yeah.
I want that guy on my team. I don't know.
So
But overall, I think good Super Bowl. Halftime show was amazing. But did you win any Super Bowl squares?
I didn't do any Super
Oh, you
Bowl
didn't do
squares.
any. I did like one.
Yeah, I
Maybe
didn't
one.
do anything until about, I would say, about 5 minutes before the game when you sent me that stuff. And now I'm in. I'm in 100%.
Hey, we'll talk, bud. We'll talk. We'll talk,
We
man.
can't
But
we can't talk here.
yeah, we can't talk here, but we'll definitely talk. Let us know what you guys think. Are you happy? Are you mad? What are your feelings on the Rams winning the Super Bowl? Do you think Joe Burrow and the boys and the Bengals will be back? Who Day Nation, will they be back in the Super Bowl during the Joe Burrow era? Yeah, I mean,
And if you have anything you guys want us to talk about, let us know.
let us know.
We're open to suggestions. We'll be opening up this Discord so you guys can type away and ask questions,
Leave
um,
ideas.
for sure, and just come in. We'll probably be on being able to message you guys back, and let's open the conversation a little bit, huh?
Yeah, let's have it. That'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening. Peace out.
All right, see you guys later.